feeling a change coming. I'm feeling a change coming. Right here, I'm feeling a change. I'm feeling a change all around me. No doubt, I'm feeling a change. I'm feeling a change running down me. Now, there's change coming.
I have no hesitation telling you that I'm a God-fearing man. You see, I not only believe, but I know that there's a deeper meaning to life than the superficial noise we see and hear on the surface. And riding motorcycles, it truly helps me explore that meaning and dig deep within my God-given soul for the answers I seek. The beautiful part about the law-abiding biker community is that regardless of what religion you are, what you believe, what your background is, what color you are, what race you are, or what you do for a living, riding motorcycles helps us all come together in one common community, and we each find ourselves in our own way and in our own time. I also know it to be true that we don't meet people in this short life by accident. That's just too simple for me, and I believe in much greater spiritual meanings. I submit to you that we're meant to cross paths with every person we meet, and that there lies a much deeper purpose and meaning than we as human beings can ever comprehend. I know that someday it will be revealed to us with complete clarity. You see, you take something from each person you meet, and they in turn take something from you. And in the end, you are a mold or a blend of every interaction you've had with another person. And you continue to grow this way throughout your life. Riding motorcycles and meeting other bikers provides us all the opportunity to grow within. And yeah, this is all part of what we call the biker revolution. Last minute as usual, I gotta get ready for this motorcycle trip, and I haven't done anything yet. And so the dilemma is always, do I start with film gear or motorcycle stuff? I just need to get started. Okay, that's a good start, but there's something I want to talk to you about, specifically about this trip, because it's pretty special. But I'm going to do it outside because it is awfully hot in here tonight. It was like 95 degrees out today. So when I started Law Abiding Biker Media back in 2013, let me tell you, I never thought this would happen. So let me start by saying this weekend we're going to Redmond, Oregon for a Patron member meetup. So it seems like it was a couple years after I started Law Abiding Biker Media that I implemented the Patron membership. And basically that's a way that you can become a member, you get benefits, you pledge per piece of content we put out. I'll link to it in the description below if you're interested. One of those benefits, of course, are these ride and meetups. But when we started, a lot of people were just pledging because there were zero benefits. And then over the years, we've implemented benefits, and I want to talk specifically about this weekend's ride. And so ever since we've had the Patron membership, we've always done a yearly ride, meetup, and event. It's awesome. We have a great time, but that's sponsored by Law Abiding Biker Media. We've been all over the US, been up in Canada. We want to reach out further. But what happened is within the private Facebook group, which is a troll-free zone, it's nothing but bikers helping biker, that thing just continues to blow up. Well, in there, members themselves decided, let's start organizing some rides. And so a lot of them, maybe 2-3 guys, go on rides. Well, it got bigger than that, and they started realizing that they wanted to have their own events. And so we've had a couple Eastern Patron meetups. We weren't even there because I can't go to all of them, but awesome. And so now we're having what is the West Coast Patron Meetup. And these guys are organizing all of it. The ride, providing the food, all that kind of stuff. And whether we can go or not, it's just awesome. And I never knew in my wildest dreams that it would turn into that type of community. So just love that private Facebook group and meeting everybody in there. And so I'm just glad that for this West Coast event that I was able to get the time off from my regular paying job, and I get to go to this one. In fact, a bunch of the lab guys are going. All right, so now dinner, and then wrap the last few things up. Try to get a good night's sleep, because I'm gonna be going hard for the next 3 days. And I'll tell you, getting started this morning, that is wrong. Something is missing from there. I got to take care of that immediately. Oh yeah, the gas cap magnet keeper. Awesome. Never lose it, never get it dirty. Law-abiding biker store.
And I think it goes without saying that no motorcycle road trip with my brothers is complete without fresh packs of cigars. I made a quick trip to the reservation to my favorite smoke shack, and they have great prices. And hey, what's better than a drive-through to get some tobacco, right? And because I bought in bulk, I could barely fit all the packs into my already stuffed luggage bag. But where there's a will, there's a way. Heck, I'll throw out underwear before I throw out cigars. So, going with me to this West Coast Patron member meetup in Redmond, Oregon, were many of my brothers from the Sworn Few Law Enforcement Motorcycle Club, who are also many of the faces you see behind the scenes here at Law Abiding Biker Media. Now, I was leaving Yakima alone for this particular trip, but just about 1 hour away to the east, I was to meet up with my brothers at the official Law Abiding Biker Store facility in Richland, Washington. Wenatchee, Washington area members, along with Tri-Cities, Washington area members, would rally at the store facility, and then we'd head out from there. To get to the store, I'd just throttle down via Interstate 82 out of Yakima. And there's nothing special about this ride, but I just needed to lay down some miles to get there on time. And let me tell you that when I leave for a motorcycle trip and finally get on the road, I can truly feel my soul being set free. And only if you're a biker do you understand what I'm talking about. I really wish I could share this feeling with everyone.
I always carry a couple extra in the saddlebag just in case you get stuck somewhere, even if it's warm, it's water. All right. Here we are at the Law Abiding Biker Store facility. There it is, Law Abiding Biker Inc. So we've been in this facility about a year.
Yep, about a year and a month.
A year and a month. Our lease just came up, and we actually were able to lease an additional room, which I haven't seen yet. I actually did a vlog a year ago when we moved into this facility. I'll link to it, pop a card and link to it in the description below if you're interested. It was a fun vlog I did. Here's the main room.
Yep.
And then this is the additional room, right? We got that side here and that side. This is a smaller room.
Yeah, this will be where we'll have the office.
That door will be walled off, right?
Yep.
Okay. So this is just law-abiding biker media right here. Nobody else can get in. So that's awesome, huh? Big Daddy.
What's up?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you excited? Big Daddy here doing some
Doing email.
orders and some emails, getting stuff shipped out before we go on the trip here, like a machine. Law-abiding biker policy that you can drink. But I did tell him to wear COVID masks, and neither of them are wearing masks.
My mask is in there.
Not. Victor in the house.
Oh, really?
Good to see you, bro.
You too. How you doing, man?
Good. Hey. Welcome.
Caught me off
Should walk
guard.
in with a camera. So these are the new law-abiding biker T-shirts, which we're using a different vendor now. So I'm curious. They feel nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I like
So
those.
there's the front,
We changed this to Biker Revolution now. Hashtag.
and then the back is the same.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I like them. I think they're good quality. Yeah, good.
So, we started as a podcast to serve bikers. Then, we added the YouTube channel and eventually added an online physical product store. I am still humbled daily by how far we've come and how we continue to grow the store. We are not a huge conglomerate like other bloated online motorcycle stores and are still a bootstrap company of bikers
Big Daddy's got a jam here. We got a serious situation in the law-abiding biker store.
who only care to personally serve the biker community. We are a company of bikers for bikers, and as you'll see in this documentary film, we actually ride. We live, eat, and breathe the biker lifestyle. We aren't the biggest motorcycle store, and well, we may never be, but I can tell you that we will take care of you, and at least you know the faces behind the store and what we stand for. We thank each and every one of you that shops in our online store and support our efforts to help educate, entertain, and inspire as many bikers as we can worldwide.
Looks like guys are down from Wenatchee. What's up, boys?
Ready for the big lab meetup.
Yeah, buddy.
West Coast, baby.
Yeah, buddy.
West Coast meetup.
I'll hug you in a minute.
The new addition, Rick Rack
Yeah,
luggage system
buddy.
for the first ride that I've been able to use it for the year.
Nice, bro. You're going to love it.
So nice, so quick.
So, we were all excited to be together as a group and had to spend some time chatting and catching up, of course, before we hit the road. Everyone in this group are all in the same state, but the Washington chapters are very spread out. So when many of us can get together and ride, it's always good to catch up a bit. Big Daddy and Goat finished getting store orders out for shipment, and we all hit the road in the already nearly 100-degree temps and traffic. Now, the fastest route to Redmond, Oregon from Richland, Washington is via the very long, boring, and straight State Route 97 at 231 miles and 4 hours saddle time. But we all wanted to ride some curves and see some beautiful country, and, well, heck, we had the time. So, we rerouted this trip to go south on the beautiful Oregon Highway 395 south to Highway 26, and then we'd head west all the way into Redmond. This would change the trip to 315 miles and about 6 hours saddle time. This trip was a bit less organized than we usually are, and last minute for some. Now, as fun as it is to live on the edge and wing it, that can also lead to some troubles, and, well, you'll see what I mean a bit later in this film. For now, we just laid down the miles via Interstate 82, bombing east toward the Oregon border. Once at the Oregon-Washington border, you cross the beautiful Columbia River, which splits the states. What a beautiful day it was so far, but we were definitely looking for a drop in temperatures. It's not long after you cross into Oregon that you get off I-82 and head east on I-84. From there, we were all awaiting the exit for the beautiful Highway 395. And we finally exited at Highway 395. We were hot, thirsty, and needed fuel before we headed into the isolated areas of 395 to the south. Right where we exited, there's a Sinclair's, and it was almost exactly 1 year ago that I and some others visited the same service station on our ride to the north rim of the Grand Canyon. What an exciting trip that was. Plenty of debacles, of course. If you haven't seen that documentary film, check it out. I'll link to it in the description below. We fueled up and watered up in record time.
Which one is that, dude?
This is the Heritage 19-inch F4 replacement windshield.
We carrying that in the Law Abiding Biker store yet?
Yep, and we've actually already sold a couple.
Nice.
Sold
It is
a
good
couple.
looking, man. I love that.
That tint is
That
perfect.
tin is smoked tin is nice.
We only chilled and visited for a short time, as I know we all wanted to get out of the 100-degree heat we were in and knew that we'd be gaining elevation soon and the temps would certainly drop. And we'd be breathing fresh mountain air.
Oh my God, this porta potty is like 190 degrees. It's ridiculous in there.
For some in the group, riding the stretch of 395 was their first, and I was personally excited for them, as I knew exactly what was to come. We saddled up and headed due south on Highway 395, excited for what was to come. The first part of Highway 395 is really nothing to brag about, but you can see hope in the distance as you ride, as you can see the green rolling hills you are heading towards.
We got this sun to chase, so little time to waste, so I won't let it pass me by. 'Cause for a moment I'm alive. Yeah, for a moment I'm alive.
Yep, and then it happens. You're there. You simply breathe, ride it, and experience it. If you haven't personally experienced this section of Highway 395 in Oregon, make it a point to get here. You'll thank me for it later.
Light a match, let it go. The fire catch, explode. Blow your mind one more time. Hurricane running through my veins. I'm buck wild, honey child. Ain't a line that I won't cross. This is the payoff. This is the payoff. Bright lights, big city, smell the cash. You know it's dirty. You never can get enough. Taking names, digging graves, pull the trigger, and walk away. It's just the cost to be the boss. This is the payoff.
And then you get out of the mountainous terrain on 395, and then you got this. All of this. Beautiful. And then we're going to get back into the trees in a while. Not too far, really.
And then in the middle of nowhere lies the thriving metropolis of Long Creek, Oregon. Population, 189. It's truly amazing what you'll come across in these outlying areas, and it's all part of the motorcycle road trip experience.
Where are you guys going with it?
Today we're ending at Sumner, and then tomorrow we're heading down to Crescent to go do a rallycross event.
Nice. That is a straight up Fiero, isn't it?
That was a Pontiac Fiero.
I knew it was. My buddy had one. Yeah, it's nice.
GT.
Long
I
Creek.
claim to be a country boy, but like seeing stuff like that makes me.
I could straight up see myself in one of those.
I could ride. I'd rock it.
Yeah.
I definitely would.
Hell yeah.
What do you get?
Whether
What are
you
you
want to or
getting,
not.
dude?
Hey, I knew we were right to stop here. I could smell it.
Oh, you did too.
We left Long Creek and continued south on 395 for the last section, and this ride is not over. You're basically in and out of the trees as you climb and drop elevation, as you snake your way south. At last, you drop down into Mount Vernon, Oregon, where you can head east or west on Highway 26, west being the direction to Redmond, Oregon. Probably just going to get gas or something before that'll get us the rest of the way into Redmond. So we headed west on Highway 26, which would take us all the way into Redmond, Oregon. It was 100 degrees out, and we were all just trying to stay hydrated as we made our way. This is pretty wide open country, and there are beautiful rolling hills all around. This area is sparsely populated as we made our way through Dayville, Oregon, population 144. I gather we were all getting tired of the hot, open, less than curvy roads. And out of nowhere, we were hit with magnificent beauty and some shade as we entered the canyons that channel the John Day River. It's exactly what we all needed.
I think that I should warn you. There's something about to change. We're standing at the border where history is made. We're cranking up the lights now so everyone can see. It's all happening right now. We're gonna make you believe it's about to get crazy. It's about to go down. It's about to get crazy. It's gonna be loud. This is our house. We do what we wanna. We'll blow the roof up. Everybody's coming. It's about to get crazy. It's about to go down. It's about to go down. We'll make the
If you're riding in this area of Oregon, don't miss this stretch of Highway 26.
We're about to show you why they fear us. Here comes the battle cry. Here comes
So remember when I told you earlier that we usually plan our trips very well, and that if you wing it, you can often run into problems? Well, that decision caught up with us near Mitchell, Oregon. You see, Big Daddy's bike only has a 5-gallon tank and the rest of us have 6-gallon tanks. There are not really any options for gas in the middle of nowhere. I had roughly 82 miles left on my tank, which would barely put me into Redmond, Oregon, which was 70 miles away, or we could have at least stopped shy of Redmond in Prineville, Oregon at 50 miles away. But Big Daddy only had about 20 miles left, and that, well, would put us stranded in the middle of BFE. So we pulled into Mitchell, Oregon, population 125, hoping there'd be gas or to at least come up with a plan. And, well, this is what happened. So you know you're in the middle of nowhere when they actually close the gas pumps.
Yeah.
At 6 p.m., is it?
And then they come over and tell you you're screwed.
And then, yeah, they basically laugh at you and tell you you're screwed.
Good news first is there's a gas station that's open. Closest one either is 56 miles or 68 miles, and Rick only has about 20 miles left for his tank of gas.
We got us a
68
major
miles.
situation here.
This is
We've actually never done this. Out of all the trips we've been on, we've never actually done this.
Nah, I don't think I
Where'd you get the gas?
I went and talked to an old fella about some gas.
Nice, bro. This guy here?
Yeah.
Wow. That's the other reason when you know you're in the middle of nowhere and there's really nice people around. You know what I'm saying? You can find somebody to help you. This guy got us gas.
If it don't work, we'll get a funnel. Be careful.
Sir, that was sure nice of you.
Yeah.
That was really nice of you.
Don't spill it. I'll give him.
He's an expert. He's a trained professional.
Is he?
Oh yeah, he's a trained professional. Look at this guy.
Yes,
There's good people in this
I'm
world,
from,
man.
I'm from Indiana, and I could tell he was kind of my folks. So
Yeah.
I just went down there and sweet talked him, and he was nice enough to give me his gas.
This is real America, man. Gotta love it. Are you the guy with the key?
Yes, I am.
Wow, the key, the holder of the key.
What a guy.
Wow, he's gonna turn it on for us. America, huh, Popeye?
Love it, man.
America.
That's small town America for you. Good stuff. You don't get that in the big city. I'll fill up all three of you guys. You just buy me beer here later, okay?
Yeah, we'll do that for you. Thanks for coming over and doing this.
You're welcome. I'm a writer too. I wouldn't let you guys have like this.
Another rider. Sweet. No wonder.
Ultra right over there.
No wonder. You're next. Gas up, buddy. 2 gallons. 2 gallons.
This is the best day ever.
Yeah, buddy.
Ever.
Just another debacle that we're used
This
to.
is like the king of debacles.
It is. It really is. I'm glad we could share it with the world.
Oh yeah.
This is real life.
We're riding though.
That doesn't matter. You see anybody frowning?
Nope.
You make the best of every situation when you're on a motorcycle. Big deal.
Yeah.
You know what though? We all still got a smile on our face because we're still riding and
We got a lot of stories
you know,
already
we do.
today. We do.
You know what I mean?
Already today. We're not even there yet.
No, we're a train wreck.
Oh, we are.
A couple gallons of gas, some octane boost. Should be good to go.
This, my fellow bikers, is what real America is all about and why we ride. Not only did the nice older gentleman give Big Daddy a gas jug and funnel he had, but another gentleman came over and actually opened the gas pumps after hours for us. And I think there's a lesson here. You see, if you live in some of the larger cities or you sit around and only watch the news, you'd often think the country was falling apart. But this should remind us all that most of the chaos and issues are isolated to very specific areas, which only make up a small portion of this great country. What you see here is the rest of America, filled with good, honest, down-to-earth people, and without hesitation willing to help their fellow man. These sorts of people and experiences are spread all across this land, but the news outlets just aren't interested, because there's no commercials to sell here. I'm always humbled by the great people we meet and experiences we get to have on these road trips, and I believe there's a purpose behind all of it. So get out there and ride, Bikeaholics, and experience the real America for yourself. Now that we all had gas, we headed straight towards Redmond, Oregon, via Highway 26. Redmond was about 70 miles away, and we'd had a long, hot day. And at this point, we all just wanted to get there and have dinner and a cold beer or two. I must say, the ride there was beautiful, and it cooled to about 90 degrees as the evening was setting in. We all just kicked back, breathed in the fresh air, and enjoyed the last leg of the ride this day. I could tell everyone was at peace as we rode west into the sun.
I just wanna be someone who matters. A free-falling vagabond. Come on, feel my heart beating faster. I just wanna dance and dance till I'm numb and I'm done and I'm ready to the ground. Can you feel it now? When we're dancing to the stars. I just wanna be someone you remember.
And we finally rolled into Redmond, Oregon at around 8 p.m. on this beautiful evening. And I know we were all ready to unass, drink an ice-cold draft beer, and eat some grub before we went to our hotel. We put the kickstands down at a place called Wild Ride Brewery. And what a fitting name considering the day's events. This brewery was recommended by Patron member Brad Johnston, who lives in the area. And what a perfect recommendation it was. I highly recommend visiting this brewery if you're riding in the area. The Wild Ride Brewery had 4 food trucks on site to choose from. Some of us chose burgers and others chose fish and chips. And let me tell you, you can't go wrong with either of them. The food was just awesome and went down quick, as we were all very hungry. You know, food always seems to taste better after a long day's ride. Next to the food trucks, there's a very large outside seating area, which is the place to be on a beautiful evening as the sun goes down. There is inside seating too, and large garage doors open up connecting the outside seating area. Best of all, there are many beers on tap to choose from. My brothers and I just took some time to visit, laugh, and reflect on the day's ride. So we had to leave the Wild Ride Brewery to head to our hotel and get checked in. But from my past experiences, I had a gut feeling this night was not going to end early. Stay tuned. We arrived and got checked into the hotel. Well, except Squid, who had not made reservations and did not have a roommate, as it was a last-minute trip for him. And there was a no vacancy sign at the front desk, and we thought he may have to sleep in a closet. After a bit of worry, a room was luckily found for Squid, but I have no doubt about it. We would have fit Squid into one of our rooms somehow, had they not had an additional room.
Oh, feels good to sit. You got that AC? You got that AC going?
No, just
Crank that shit up.
Of course, as I had wisely anticipated, the night was not over. Yeah, I know, big surprise, huh? The boys quickly found an establishment within walking distance where we could finish the night out and not have to hold back on drinking a few beverages. Or many beverages in this case. We frequented the Hub City Bar and Grill nearby. Okay, there's nothing remarkable about this place at all after coming from the Wild Ride Brewery. But I think the guys were happy as long as it had cold beer and drinks. And it did. Oh, and it had shots. The place was pretty quiet this night, and we just finished the night off here until they closed around midnight, and then we headed back to the hotel to call it a night.
Okay, what a day. I'm beat. Time for lights out. Tomorrow's a big day. It is the West Coast Patron Meetup. I'm really excited about it. All right, see you in the morning. Look who is also up right now.
I'm first on the list today, huh?
It is the official West Coast Patron Meetup and Ride Day. A couple other guys here are up bright and early with me. Looks like it's going to be a beautiful day though.
The crew and I got geared up for the big event this day and headed into downtown Redmond, Oregon. Remember, this organized event was the reason for this motorcycle trip in the first place, and we were all ready with excitement. We arrived at a place called Ace Discount Motorsports.
Here we are at the official meetup place for the West Coast Patron Ride. Everybody's waiting for us.
It means so much to me to meet these members in person and get to know them better. It's a good reminder of why I continue to do what I do and grow this community.
Tyler from?
Chehalis.
Matt, Merced, California. That's yours, buddy.
Robert from?
Valley Springs, California.
Yep.
Dan Nielsen.
Dan Nielsen.
San Andreas.
Chuck Wilburn, Minot, North Dakota. Terry McDonough from Medford.
Yes. How you doing, Brad?
Fantastic.
Brad Johnston here from the local area. He organized this entire, we're going to call it the West Coast Patron Meetup. Thanks for doing this, man.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. What inspired you to do this, man?
Well, you know, I saw the East Coast folks having all the fun with the East Coast unsanctioned and thought I wasn't going to be able to make the Patron Ride this year. So.
That's right, in Sturgis, right?
Yeah, in Sturgis. So I wanted to have fun too.
Awesome, and these events are going on all over, all going on in the private Facebook group and stuff. This is awesome. This is going to be great, and you got a great ride planned for us.
Thanks.
It sounds like so.
Nice to meet you. Sarah.
On from Yep,
Federal Way.
Yep.
Hi, Ryan. Good to see you.
Thanks
Hey,
for
everybody.
coming.
See you, man.
The other half of the Tilson.
It took these bikers no time to start conversations and just enjoy the time getting to know each other before the day's ride. I've seen this at every law-abiding biker patron event I've been at over the years, and it's always surreal to me to see these strangers come together from all over and all walks of life, and within minutes, it's as if they are old friends. That's the bond of like-minded bikers and what the true lifestyle is all about. It seemed everybody was ready, so Brad gave a safety briefing and a quick overview of the ride and dinner event that was to follow. And just like that, we all saddled up and headed out for the ride. So, kickstands were up at 11 a.m. on this beautiful 80-degree morning. We headed north on State Route 97, went through Madras, Oregon, and continued north on 97. There's nothing remarkable here other than I was riding with a bunch of awesome patron members. I knew Brad had some special roads ahead in store for us, and it all started when we exited State Route 97 onto Highway 293.
I ain't no altar boy. I ain't no yes man. No, no. You ain't no God of mine. No, I don't need your blessings to save me.
So after that little two-lane windy gem of a road, I really wasn't sure it could get any better. That's until we reached Antelope, Oregon, and turned off onto Highway 218. I know everyone was smiling ear to ear on this part of the ride.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire. Start that fire. Burn it down, yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder. Let the sun fill me now. You ain't seen nothing yet. I got this storm in my head, a forest fire in my chest. Look at the time on the clock, man, I'm gonna sleep when I'm dead. Whether you're ready or not, I'm rolling in like a train off the tracks, coming at you. You ain't seen nothing yet. Walk that wire, start that fire. Burn it down, yeah. You ain't seen nothing yet. I go harder. Let the sun fill me now. You ain't seen nothing yet.
And after that great start to the day, we stopped in Shaniko, Oregon, now considered a ghost town. In 1900, an official community was planned and built by businessmen in the Dalles for the terminus of the Columbia Southern Railroad. The station was to be utilized to collect the enormous quantities of wool being produced in Central Oregon, a role it continued to play into the 1940s. The Shaniko Hotel was built, along with a school, wooden water tower, post office, and it developed from there. Within a year, two financiers from the Dells constructed a huge wool warehouse in Shaniko, the largest in Oregon at the time. Shaniko quickly became a major trade center for the wool produced in Central and Eastern Oregon. In 1903, Shaniko was referred to as the wool capital of the world, after 3 wool sales brought in the largest total sale of wool on record to date. Today, this almost ghost town supports a population of just 20 to 25 people, but there are still plenty of things standing, and it's definitely worth a stop by if you're riding through the area. The Shaniko Hotel and Cafe are now closed, but they were open when I was a boy, and I have fond memories of them. and Oscar and his wife rode down from Washington State to meet us in Shaniko and ride with us part of the day.
Give me some love.
Mrs. Oscar made it. That's okay, Mrs. Oscar.
I did. Mrs. Oscar.
How was the ride down?
It was windy.
Yeah, I figured you guys.
It was super windy. I held on to Justin like...
We left northbound on State Route 97 from Shaniko. Remember earlier in this documentary when I said that on our way to Redmond we added 1 hour and 45 minutes by taking the beautiful State Route 395? Well, this is why. Because this part of State Route 97 is wide open and there's not a lot to see. Plus, it's often very windy, as it proved to be this very day. We fought severe crosswinds and everyone just throttled north, knowing there was an end to it soon. And I know we were all glad to turn off State Route 97 onto Highway 216, but we were still getting beat up pretty good by the wind, and it's still wide open. But you do get a glimpse of the beautiful mountains to the west. It became apparent that our efforts to battle through the wind was going to be well worth it as we suddenly began dropping down into the canyon towards the Deschutes River. And we reached the bottom of the canyon and then followed alongside the beautiful Deschutes River. And there was plenty of recreation happening this day. What a beautiful ride it was. We followed the river and ended up at a park along the river in Maupin, Oregon, where we all took a break and enjoyed the scenery. He's got to go back. He's bombing back with Oscar. They're heading all the way back to Othello area. And yep, well, it's fun riding, bro. Yeah. Just a warm up for Sturgis.
Yep, good tune-up.
Ride safe, bro. Oscar and Squid headed out and back towards home in Washington State, as the rest of us left Maupin via Highway 197. We immediately climbed up out of the canyon, gaining elevation quickly. After that, it gets real flat and straight again. Oh, and we got hammered with more heavy winds as we headed back towards Redmond. Once we got back to town, everyone split up, and our crew headed back to the hotel. So what a great ride. I'm ready to dump some gear. I'm hot. Get cleaned up, and then we'll head over to Brad's house for the main event. So we heard Brad was going to have beer on tap, and that's all the guys really needed to hear. So we planned for some beer drinking, and we called for an Uber. But due to COVID-19 and being a small town, there was only one. We've been in a one Uber town. That was when, remember when Jeff learned that you could pay with your credit card, that the Ubers don't take cash? Remember that?
Well, that Cheyenne?
Yeah, Cheyenne, Wyoming. So the Uber driver had to make 2 trips, and while we were waiting, we learned that the weather on our way home the next day, well, it was not looking so good. And that would become an understatement.
62. Showers in the morning with some isolated thunderstorms arriving in the afternoon.
We may get wet tomorrow.
Just a little bit.
This wind, you can already feel weather moving in.
Yeah.
So Sturgis Jeff had fun on this Uber ride like a kid on a carnival ride. He still can't believe you pay online and not with cash. We arrived at Brad's house and made our way to the backyard. It was immediately apparent how much work and expenses he and his wife had put into this special dinner event. We had pulled pork and all the sides you can imagine. Oh, and cold beer on tap. It still boggles my mind of what law-abiding biker media has become and the community of like-minded bikers that surrounds it. I mean, the ultimate show of trust and kindness is to open up your personal home to a bunch of bikers, most of whom you've only met online. So, it was a cold and windy evening, but hey, nobody cared. We made the best of it, as bikers do. Plus, there was still beer to drink. It was a pleasure as always hanging out and talking with these loyal and giving patron members. These members unselfishly support law-abiding biker media financially to help us continue our mission to educate, connect, entertain, and inspire as many bikers as we can worldwide. And we'd also love to have you as a patron member, so if you're interested, I'll put a link in the description below with more information. And so we ended this fine evening, and, well, the one Uber driver, he wasn't available anymore. So, Brad's lovely wife, Sarah, offered to take a bunch of beer-drinking bikers for a pickup ride back to our respective hotels in town. Some, even ended up in the bed of the truck. And as we dropped off patron member Tyler Barr, he gave us cigars as a parting gift. My sincerest apologies, Sarah, but you're awesome for giving us a ride.
Thanks for putting up with my friends.
You guys are fun.
I'm good.
You guys drive safe back.
So, we couldn't just end the day that abruptly, so we hung out at the hotel outside, had a drink, smoked those cigars Tyler gave us, and reminisced about what we'd experienced not only this day, but during this trip. We all knew it was ending, and we'd have to bomb back home in the morning.
About 9 o'clock a.m. I think everybody else is still in bed. They said kickstand's up at 11. That's checkout. It is a much cooler day this morning. We might get rained on today. We got a bomb straight home.
Oh, and by the way, Redmond, Oregon would be a great city for any biker traveling through to stay over. The town sits on a plateau at the western edge of Oregon's high desert and has a backdrop with beautiful mountains. It's a small town and has a population of about 32,000. Around Redmond, there's access to many recreational opportunities. So this last day was not off to a great start, and that would sort of be an overall theme throughout. All I wanted to start was a Starbucks coffee.
Alright, so I'm just hanging out here at Starbucks, waiting for the guys to get going and decide where we're going to breakfast. Yeah, piss and rain. Can't go inside. COVID stuff.
I learned some of the guys met up at Black Bear Diner in Redmond, so I met them there. And that didn't go so well either.
So they are way understaffed. It took over an hour to get our food. At least it was warm. I don't know if it's because of COVID or what, but now we're way behind.
So while we were at the diner, it absolutely poured rain outside. It had stopped by the time we got outside, but we all geared up for the worst. I was hoping this day would get better as we pulled out at 12:15 to start our trek north to Washington State. It was going to be a 200-mile day and 3.5 hours saddle time for me to get home. And this morning continued to be strange, as I realized I had forgotten to get gas, and I had to turn around. This split the group up a bit coming out of Redmond, but we'd group up a bit later. Yep, there's more to this morning. You see, just north of Redmond, we got jammed up in some traffic due to a collision. We were split up, and I was with Goat and Big Daddy, while the rest of the group were miles ahead of us. Little did I know that this was actually a hit-and-run collision, and the suspect vehicle had fled north on State Route 97. Even stranger is that Popeye spotted the car taking off from the scene. He promptly called 911 and advised the local police. Once we grouped back up, we'd actually passed the suspect car, which, thanks to Popeye, had been pulled over by police and the driver was in custody. Nothing like a little off-duty work, huh? But I'm glad the driver was off the road. And after that little incident, everybody just settled in and prepared to lay down some miles. It was a cool 64 degrees and humidity was high. And yeah, I'm not afraid to admit that I plugged in my heated gear and it felt damn good. There's nothing special about this section of State Route 97 as you work your way through Oregon towards Washington State, and quite honestly, it's pretty boring. We had avoided this section on the way down, but it is the fastest route and we just needed to get home at this point. There are a few sections that have some scenery and twisties, so you appreciate them when they come.
Broken words, broken bones, broken windows in our broken...
The weather was all around us, and we did hit rain on several occasions. However, it was not a complete downpour, and we got on the tail end of a few storms. We were just flirting with isolated storms. We made our last group stop at Biggs Junction at the Columbia River and the border of Oregon and Washington. It was very stormy now, and it was clear from the app on my smartphone that we were all going to get wet real soon. Those who did not have their rain gear on put it on real quick, and it started to rain sideways on us. We wasted no time and said our goodbyes, as we'd be splitting up from here. The rest of the group headed east, and I split off alone to head north. I ended this trip the same way I started it, riding alone. And that always sucks after you've been riding for days and hanging with your brothers. I had about 80 miles to go to get to my home near Yakima, Washington. But riding alone gave me time to enter a deep state of reflection of this trip and the experiences I won't soon forget. And as I was in that relaxing, deep state of reflection, Mother Nature punched me in the gut and brought me back to reality about halfway home. As I crossed Sadish Pass on State Route 97, it began to rain pretty hard for the remainder of the trip. And if the prior gut punch wasn't enough for Mother Nature, she now kicked me in the nuts as I came through Yakima on Interstate 82 with a torrential downpour with standing water on the freeway, causing me to slow way down.
So yeah, it basically rained like that all the way into my driveway. What a way to end a trip, huh?
And I would like to leave you with these parting words. Somebody should tell us right at the start of our lives that we are dying. Then we might live life to the limit, every minute of every day. Do it, I say. Wherever you want to ride and whatever you want to experience, try your best to make it happen. Remember, there are only so many tomorrows. And if you enjoyed this film, don't forget to check out all my other motorcycle documentary films. I'll put a card on the screen and link to them in the description below. Thanks for watching, and ride safe.
Gas up, buddy. 2 gallons.
This is the best day ever.
Yeah, buddy.
Ever.
Just another debacle that we're used to.
This is like the king of debacles.
It is, it really is. I'm glad we could share it with the world.
Oh yeah.
This is real life.
We're riding though.
That doesn't matter. You see anybody frowning?
Nope.
You make the best of every situation when you're on a motorcycle. Big deal.
Yeah.
You meet really cool people.
They even give you gas.
I know.
For $1.
Real America.
Yes.
What's the plan here?
He's going to get a whoop-de-whoop. Whatever the hell that is.
A whoop-de. What's a whoop-de?
Whoop-de-whoop. It's a Hefeweizen, American Hefeweizen. I don't know. It sounds good.
Hurry. Here it comes. Get that gear on.